It appears they did have the events ready to go, and we're just waiting to roll out that update. So let's talk about them. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
From what I've gathered on Discord and Reddit, it does appear that most of the people still having issues with some of the bugs that were supposed to be fixed. It was more from not having downloaded the assets yet, or just getting double assets, I guess, and having to uninstall the game and reinstall the game. So really, that's been, it's not a great solution, but it has worked for a lot of people. Have said once they did that, everything worked fine. My game has been working fine for me. I've noticed some small differences, but it actually seems to be moving a little bit quicker. I don't know if other people are encountering the same thing, but like Trace is just, everything happens just a little bit faster, it seems. One thing I will note is a fix for the Adventure Sync for Android users. The solution that I've seen is that you need to re-give permissions, which is to go into Google Fit and remove Harry Potter Wizards Unite, and then go ahead into Harry Potter Wizards Unite and go ahead and turn on Adventure Sync, and then it'll go ahead and take you there, and then you just re-grant permission. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to work for everyone. I don't have an Android. This is really just based off what other people are saying, although I've heard this from multiple people have posted this that said that it worked for them. So go ahead and try that if your Adventure Sync is still not working. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over the rest of March and the events that are coming. There's a lot of stuff kind of jam-packed together. Thank you to @OrangeWizard2019 for the images I'm about to use for all the events that are in March. Always appreciate the images that they put out. First of all, it is a new moon on March 13th, so you should already see Death Eaters out. If you're wondering why Death Eaters are out, they are similar to werewolves that appear on the full moon a couple days before and after. On the new moon, Death Eaters appear a couple days before and a couple after. I actually just did a trip to the grocery store and actually fought 3 of them and returned 3 of them. So they should be out there. Look for them at night. There are actually 2 Adversaries event this month, and the first event that we'll run into in the first Adversary event is March 16th through March 18th. That's a Tuesday to a Thursday. That is 11 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday to 11 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. So it does give us that extra little bit they've been doing, but it is midweek. And I think it's probably midweek because they had to kind of crunch the event calendar waiting for that update to come out, or else they might have been able to put this on the weekend because we had that emergency weekend and that kind of thing. I bet they could have put this on one of those, and it's midweek because of this. So I know that's not going to agree with a lot of the people because midweek, just obviously not as much time to fight. And it is revolving around Narcissa, as you can see. And if you're looking for Narcissa in the game itself, once you're in the registry, if you go to the challenge registry, it'll be the first thing that pops up. You'll see Draco always, but then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, which I'm doing right now, get all the way down there, you're going to get to Narcissa. So I actually have green starred her, but I definitely need the other stuff. So I'll probably build her image up and go ahead and get the rest of those, hopefully, and get this page at least over to bronze during that event, with the limited time of it being weekdays. Next up on March 20th is Community Day, and Community Day will actually revolve all around what you can see right now, Courtroom 10. So they mention Arthur Weasley, they mention Nymphadora Tonks, so you can see this page, actually, I only have on bronze, so I am looking forward to all of these being available in different ways. I'm guessing the 2 Fortress Foundables, which is the Ministry Visitors Entrance and the Wizengamot's Accusation Chair. My guess is one of those will be out of Portkeys, and then the other one will be more the Guaranteed Foundable and Fortresses when using these runestones. And not meaning you'll get one every time, just that will be the only Ministry of Magic Foundable that will come from a fortress that day. And then the other ones will probably be spawning more in the wild. So hopefully all these will have a way to get a little bit further. So I'm definitely hoping to make it to silver. If things are looking good that day, maybe I'll make it to gold. Here's where things start to get weird because the first Brilliant event is March 21st through the 25th, which is a Sunday to a Thursday. We're used to doing things definitely differently than that. And it is because they are trying to crunch these things in. So again, only one weekend day instead of going through a weekend and a lot of weekdays. So probably is going to make it a little more difficult for people to finish this, but it does revolve around the new Marauders, which they say young James Potter and Wormtail will be involved in that, brilliant versions of them, and the brilliant Great Lakeshore. I don't expect it to be any different than other brilliant events, just a new brilliant page, brilliant port keys, things to get, Fortress Foundable, kind of the standard formula we've been used to seeing, just that it's that Sunday through Thursday, so it is going to be less days and different days than we're used to. Oh, I forgot to mention, that is 11 a.m. Pacific time to 11 a.m. Pacific time. Hot on the heels of part 1 brilliant event is the Adversaries event, the second Adversaries event, and it does go from Friday to Monday. It goes over a weekend, which is nice that at least this lines up. It involves 2 adversaries. It is Peter Pettigrew and the Ukrainian Iron Belly. It will be March 26th through March 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific time to 11 a.m. Pacific time as per normal. And here in the registry, you can see I'm under the challenge registry. Peter Pettigrew down here, which I am not even at bronze yet. I just haven't seen a lot of him. For a while, I hadn't seen any of them, and then I finally kind of got a couple. So definitely hoping to make it to bronze, if not further. And then 2 down from Peter Pettigrew is the Ukrainian Iron Belly, the ancient Ukrainian Iron Belly. And this one also hoping to make it to bronze at the very least. Now, one thing I will say, even though the Narcissa event with 1 adversary is over the weekdays, which isn't ideal, I am glad they didn't try to put 2 adversaries over weekdays. The 2 adversary event is over the weekend, so people should have more time since you do have to go after 2 adversaries and you're trying to maybe fill out both of these pages. During the adversary event on Sunday, March 28th is a full moon, which means a couple days before that and a couple days after that, werewolves are going to be appearing. So that'll be during the adversary event. It shouldn't affect it too much. I would go after the adversaries if you were only going after one or the other, but if the werewolf appears, you certainly can go hit that real quick and then just get back to what you're doing. And then we get to part 2 of the brilliant event, which is going to happen March 29th to April 2nd, which means when that adversary event ends at 11 a.m. Pacific time, the brilliant event immediately starts. It actually goes Monday to Friday and ends at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So again, odd that the brilliant events are not over weekends. It's actually Monday through Friday, so no weekend days. So hopefully, and less days. So hopefully that doesn't affect people too much. I know that's probably not going to be agreeable to people, and I can completely understand that it will be harder to finish these events when you're not even given weekend days to do it. It will revolve around the brilliant Shrieking Shack and include brilliant Padfoot and young Remus Lupin. So to finish out the Marauders, essentially. And again, I don't expect this to be any different than part 2 of all the other brilliant events we've done, so nothing special there, and I'll certainly have guide out for everything when each event is coming. So while I'm sure people are going to be happy that the event calendar has come out, because of the delay in getting the calendar out, they've had to put things in weird days, and I'm sure this month is going to be a rougher month for the feedback in the forums, community forums, Discord, Reddit. I'm sure people are not going to be happy about it, and completely understandable. Them trying to make sure we at least have all the events we normally have so we can get those restricted section books and other resources that you can only get so many times a month because we have to wait for events. Anyway, those are all the events that are going to finish out the month for us, and I hope we can just finish out this month. The update is working okay for you, and if it's not, you're able to reinstall and kind of get it going correctly, and maybe we can move into April and kind of get back to our normal schedule and have the events spread out a little bit more where we have time in between, as well as having them on more ideal days. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Knox.